What if I told you that the best project managers out there aren't just masters of spreadsheets and schedules? Nope, they're masters of something called skill stacking. Today, we're going to dig into the career of one of these top-tier PMs to see what skills really separate the good from the great.
So let's just get this out of the way. You have to forget the old stereotype of a project manager as just some taskmaster with a clipboard. In today's world, a great PM is more like the conductor of a complex orchestra. They're the central hub where strategy, technology, and people all connect to make something amazing happen.
In this quote, it absolutely nails the heart of skill stacking. A modern PM has to be a data whisperer, a master communicator, and a calm, cool-headed problem solver all at the same time. They're the ultimate integrator, the person who sees the big picture and connects all the dots.
Okay, so what does this ultimate integrator actually look like in practice? Well, it all starts with our first core competency, the incredible ability to bridge the gap between the world of tech and the world of business.
Okay, imagine this. You're told to build a secure CRM system completely from scratch, and you have just 2 months to do it. Sounds pretty much impossible, right? Well, not for a skilled product owner who knows exactly how to leverage powerful open-source components to deliver at an incredible speed.
So what's the secret sauce behind this kind of commando delivery? It's a framework you've probably heard of called Scrum. Think of it like a series of short, intense sprints where the team works super closely to build and refine the product in small, easy-to-manage pieces. It's all about speed, flexibility, and actually getting things done.
Now this is where that whole skill stacking thing really kicks into high gear. To pull off that CRM project, you can't just know the theory. You have to get the details. You've got to understand the nuts and bolts of Java and Angular, the absolute necessity of cybersecurity, and even the art of writing user stories that actually make sense to developers. It's this rare mix of deep technical know-how and smart product management.
But what's the point of all this technical wizardry? Well, it's about driving real business results. In another project, this exact same ability to bridge tech and business led to a just mind-boggling 196% increase in website traffic. That is the kind of tangible impact we are talking about.
All right, so what happens when you take these skills and drop them into an even more demanding, high-pressure environment? That brings us right to our second competency, mastering high-stakes projects in industries like defense where there's literally zero room for error.
In these high-stakes worlds, you're not flying solo. You're usually working within what's called a Project Management Office, or a PMO. The best way to think of a PMO is like the air traffic control for big, complex projects. They make sure everything is running smoothly, on time, and on budget. And when we say complex, we really mean it. We are talking about managing over 50 high-stakes export bids. The budgets for these things range from a few $100,000 to hundreds of millions of euros. These are massive, multi-year projects with global implications.
So, how in the world do you stay on top of all that complexity? Simple. You work smarter, not harder. By automating the really tedious but critical task of risk reporting, our project manager was able to cut the time it took by a whopping 83%. That's a huge win for productivity. It frees up the team to focus on what they're best at, solving problems and delivering results.
And this brings us to a really crucial insight. In these huge, large-scale projects, the game is often won or lost before it even starts. See, it's not just about building stuff, it's about building it profitably. That's where something called a work breakdown structure, or WBS, comes in. It's basically a way to meticulously plan and budget every single piece of the project, so you can spot and neutralize risks before they ever become a real problem.
So, we've seen how these skills work on high-stakes domestic projects. But what happens when you take them global? Well, that's our third and final competency, driving international business expansion. And let me tell you, that is a challenge that requires a whole other level of skill and sophistication.
This timeline really tells a powerful story of strategic growth. It all kicked off in 2011 with a move to China. By 2015, the mission was clear: diversify the company's revenue and expand its global footprint. And the results? They really do speak for themselves. Over the next 5 years, they tripled the international team and tripled the export market share of total revenue.
And this chart puts that shift into perspective. By growing the export market from just 5% to a really healthy 15% of total revenue, RPM didn't just de-risk the company's business. They also opened up a whole new world of opportunity, contributing to a $15 million export revenue stream.
But here's the thing you have to remember. You just can't achieve that kind of global success with business development skills alone.
You need a deep, genuine understanding of different cultures, the ability to build trust with international clients, and even the strategic foresight to protect your company from things like economic espionage. This is where those so-called soft skills become the ultimate power skills.
Okay, so we've looked at 3 key competencies of a modern project manager: bridging tech and business, mastering high-stakes environments, and driving global growth. So now, let's put it all together and build the ultimate PM toolkit. At the heart of this toolkit is a really simple but powerful 3-step framework. First, you dive deep and you audit the situation, like our PM did with the CRM project. Then, you bring everyone to the table to co-create a solution, like they did with those defense bids. And finally, you execute with precision, always measuring your progress in ROI, just like we saw with the international expansion.
And here it is, the secret to becoming a truly great project manager, the skill stack. On one side, you've got the hard skills, the technical know-how that gets the job done. But on the other, you've got the soft skills, that human element that brings it all together. The real magic happens when you can seamlessly blend the two, when you can be both a technical wizard and a master of human connection.
And that brings us to a really fascinating question for the future. In a world that's being more and more dominated by AI and automation, which side of this skill stack is going to be more valuable? Will the hard technical skills become just a commodity? Or will the uniquely human skills, leadership, creativity, empathy, be the ultimate competitive advantage? It's a question that every project manager should be asking themselves right now.